You know, when I first started this podcast, I had this vision in my head. I imagined it reaching people, sparking conversations, maybe even changing a few lives along the way. But as I dove into the world of podcasting, I quickly realized that my vision wasn't enough. It wasn't just about what I wanted to say. It was about what you, my listeners, wanted to hear. And that's where audience feedback comes into play. It's like this magical tool that helps me tune into your preferences, understand what resonates, and ultimately improve the content I deliver. Think about it. Every time you hit play on an episode, you're making a choice. You're investing your time, and that's a big deal. So, when you take a moment to share your thoughts, whether it's through an email, a comment on social media, or a review on Apple Podcasts, you're not just giving me a pat on the back or a critique. You're helping me shape the future of this show. You're telling me what topics light a fire in you, what formats keep you engaged, and even how long you want these episodes to be. It's like having a roadmap that guides me through the often winding path of content creation. Let's talk about understanding listener preferences for a minute. I've learned that feedback highlights what truly resonates with you. Maybe you love those deep dives into specific topics, or perhaps you prefer a lighter, more conversational tone. Maybe you've got a preference for episode lengths. Some listeners thrive on short, punchy episodes, while others want to settle in for a longer discussion. By listening to your feedback, I can tailor my approach to better suit your tastes. And here's the thing, when I acknowledge and respond to your feedback, it builds engagement. You feel valued, and that fosters loyalty. It's like a relationship, right? When you feel heard, you're more likely to stick around, to share the podcast with friends, to engage with me on social media. It's a win-win. But collecting feedback isn't just about waiting for it to come to me. I actively encourage you to share your thoughts. You might hear me say something like, "Have ideas for our next episode? Drop us a message at email address." I want to create that open line of communication. Social media is another fantastic avenue for this. Polls, Q&As, comment sections, these are all tools at my disposal to tap into what you're thinking. I might ask, which topic should we cover next? Time management or productivity hacks? Vote now. And let's not forget about reviews and ratings. They're like gold for podcasters. When you take the time to leave a review, it not only helps me gauge your sentiment, but also helps others discover the podcast. I can see which segments you found engaging or where I might need to step up my game. Plus, there's analytics. I dive into the data from my hosting platform, looking at listener retention, popular episodes, all those little nuggets of information that tell me what's working and what isn't. If I notice a significant drop-off after 30 minutes, that's a clear signal that maybe I need to tighten things up a bit. Now, evaluating feedback is a whole process in itself. I categorize responses into themes, content, format, technical quality. It's about identifying patterns. If I see multiple listeners requesting more guest interviews, that's a strong indication that I should make that happen. But I also have to filter through the noise. Not every comment requires immediate action. A single complaint might not warrant a change, but consistent feedback definitely should be addressed. Once I've gathered and evaluated feedback, it's time to adapt the podcast. This could mean introducing new topics or refining existing ones. If you're telling me you love practical tips, I might add a quick tips segment in every episode. Or maybe I need to adjust the structure, shortening episodes if analytics show listeners drop off after a certain point. Technical improvements are also crucial, enhancing audio quality, reducing background noise, adjusting volume levels. These are all things I take seriously based on your suggestions. And you know what? I want to make sure you know that your feedback is valued. I'll often say something like, "You asked for more interviews, and we listened. Our next episode features an expert guest." It's about building that connection and showing you that your voice matters. But the cycle doesn't stop there. I want to keep this conversation going. Soliciting regular feedback is key. It's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing dialogue. I'll test changes and monitor their reception. Maybe I'll introduce a mini-series and see how you react before committing long-term. Transparency is crucial here. I'll share updates on how your feedback has influenced the podcast, building trust, and keeping you in the loop. So, what are the key takeaways from all of this? Audience feedback is essential. It helps me understand your preferences and drives improvement. I collect it through direct communication, social media, reviews, and analytics tools. Evaluating feedback involves identifying patterns and prioritizing actionable insights. I adapt my content, format, and technical quality based on your constructive criticism. And I want to keep engaging with you to ensure this podcast evolves with your preferences. In the end, it's all about creating something that resonates with you, that adds value to your life. Your input is the heartbeat of this podcast, and I'm so grateful for every piece of feedback you provide. Together, we can make this journey even more exciting. Thank you for being a part of it.